Here again with another Shameless Season 4 episode review video. Before I get into that though, pretty important if you are caught up to the point where I am. Hey, you're watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, so you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be Shameless, Season 4, Episode 9. The title of this episode is called The Legend of Bonnie and Carl. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode, although it was last night. Fiona is taking a shower. She's getting ready, and we even see some very quick Fiona boobies. 41 minutes until Fiona is allowed out. Finally, she can get out. Mickey's still there. Little surprising. But Liam's gone. He's not in his bed. Turns out he was hiding in the closet, if you want to call it hiding. His legs were out and his top half of his body was in the closet. Ian said Mickey could crash at their place. Frank's been out for 18 hours. They're a little worried about him. Sammy blows the guy that examined Frank's payment. Even though she didn't want to do it, he's like, pay up, bitch. Amanda wants some from Lip. She says she's still a virgin, but that doesn't mean there are other ways to pleasure her. Best part about getting a BJ from Amanda, Lip's roommate, or her ex now is 10 minutes of silence. I guess that he is officially her ex now. Fiona meets with her PO. Frank finally wakes up. Sammy is trying to make Frank as comfortable as possible. He says, take me to the alibi. All Frank wants to do is go to the alibi because that's where Frank feels most happy. Carl is in detention and he's making a shank, and a younger girl from detention notices this and shows interest in Carl. Bonnie, actually, the girl's name, slipped an acid in the detention teacher's coffee, and that teacher is kind of out of it. Svetlana shows up at the Gallagher house with Mickey's baby. She wants to know when he's coming home. He says he's not coming home. Svetlana wants Mickey to watch the kid, and then Svetlana tells Mickey she wants $500 tomorrow, or she'll tell his father Terry, who's in jail, that he's been messing around with Ian when Terry did not like that idea. Fiona has an interview, and it's going really well until the person finds out that Fiona has a felony, and then she's like, we'll get back to you. Frank actually lit the Bible on fire and threw it on the floor, and he's trying to crawl away from Sheila's house, and Sammy finds him, and he still wants to go to the alibi. Lip tells Amanda he's really not looking for a girlfriend, and Amanda's like, I don't want a boyfriend either. I need you to meet my parents. That's what she wants him for. There's an issue with the train, and Fiona has got to be back home in 20 minutes. Otherwise, she's fucked and goes back to jail. So she gets in a taxi and offers $12 to take her as far as possible. Mickey goes to the alibi, and Kev says congratulations and wants to give him a free drink. Mickey's like, what? Your new kid. Mine got taken away from me by my wife's mom, but you got yours at least. Or, no, they're not married yet, actually. I don't remember if they got married officially or not. But Mickey gets $200 from Kev from his cut, which he was expecting it to be a lot more. Fiona makes it home just in time, even though she had to run home. And the taxi driver took her, 11 minutes away and wanted the extra $1 for a tip. And Fiona even slipped and fell right when she arrived at their house. And she had to, maneuver her foot in through the, to get in for the thing to stop going off. Mandy has stopped by Debbie's. Wait a minute. Mandy stopped by at the Gallagher house, and Debbie's mad at Maddie. Because he's making dates, and this was not supposed to happen. She was supposed to play the game of I don't really care, and he was supposed to start begging for her to do stuff now. Carl says, how can you tell if you're in love with somebody? Fiona talks to V about potential job prospects, and Mickey and Ian set up some rich guy and want money from him, which they do indeed get, because he doesn't want his family to know what he does on the side, being somebody that apparently is interested in men instead of his wife. And then Debbie stalks Maddie's love interest. Sheila has arrived home. Seems like forever since we saw Sheila. Ian asks Lip about what he thinks about gambling, and then he goes on about this gambling thing. Fiona tries to get Gallagher Daycare up and running again, but somebody that used to come to Gallagher Daycare with their kid has no interest in Fiona now due to the drug thing, even though this person does drugs themselves. Roger Running Tree and Sheila broke up. As it turns out, he was nothing more than a con man, and he was more Mexican than Indian. And Sheila actually asked Frank, of all people, to marry her, even though he's on his deathbed, as she wants those kids of her Roger Running Tree's relatives' kids. Amanda has actually made Lip a schedule and got him a new phone. Wow, well, hello, Amanda. Mandy's boyfriend is looking for her, and then Carl actually spray painted the lockers at school and even misspelled his last name just so he could get into detention, so he has an opportunity to talk to Bonnie again. Sheila wants Sammy to be her maid of honor. Wow, she barely knows Sammy, but Sheila doesn't necessarily have the most friends. Frank is still alive after a scare, but it's time to call 911. Svetlana tells Mickey to come back home. Mandy's boyfriend goes into his Lip's dorm room looking for Lip. Fiona goes to an NA meeting, and the person running the NA meeting gives Fiona a lead for hooking. Well, I wouldn't mind Fiona being a hooker, especially in my life, but yeah, this was kind of random to give her a lead for being a hooker in the show. Debbie actually had the nerve and gall to put a snake in the love interest of Maddie's car. Back to detention for Carl, more time with Bonnie. Frank refuses paramedic treatment, so they can't help him and they have to leave. Mandy's boyfriend, I keep forgetting what his name is, chases Lip around, but he's eventually tased and detained. Fiona goes back to Worldwide Cup and asks the HR person that she was friends with, I think her name is Connie, to change her end result to being downsized instead of being fired. And then Mike's sister's there and snaps on Fiona, says that you can just destroy your own family. You destroyed our family, or you don't destroy our family anymore. Destroy your own family and leave mine alone. And then Fiona just leaves dejected. Bonnie and Carl actually hold up a store. I think it was a convenience store, and Bonnie's actually using a real gun, even though she told Carl that it wasn't a real gun. And then Bonnie kisses Carl and wants to hit up a bank tomorrow. Okay, Bonnie's cool and all, but she's definitely not the right girl for Carl. Even though he may think this stuff is cool, he doesn't need to go down that road. Mickey goes home and sees that Mandy has been roughed up. Not cool. Kermit, Tommy, and Kev go to Sheila's place to make the alibi room come to Frank instead of Frank trying to go there. And you can see that Frank is actually happy. And then Maddie's love interest goes to the Gallagher place and confronts Debbie outside as my nose itches and says, "It's on, bitch," or I don't remember exactly what she says, but she called her a bitch, like, "You don't mess with me." Fiona, at the end of the episode, ends up going to Robbie's, which I didn't think we would see Robbie again, and I've seen this show before, I just can't remember specific things, and tells him she should have told the fucking cops it was you. Everything is fucked because of you. And then Fiona cries as the episode ends, and there's no mid-credit scene for this. So, pretty solid episode. More Fiona of, experiencing life with a felony record now. I'm going to give the episode an 8.6 out of 10. My characters of the episode are going to be Fiona for the females and Carl for the males, with special recognition to Bonnie as a solid add-in for this episode. So, you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Shameless and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, make sure that you Hulk smash that like button. Share the video with anybody you know. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Shameless. What would you rate the episode, and whom would be your male and female character of the episode? Click right here for my Shameless series finale rant video if you've seen every single episode of Shameless, to kind of jump ahead and hear my thoughts of the finale, as the show, it's good and then gets crappy towards the end. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.